please. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying there, Head?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So,
hey, what's up there, Jim?
Okay, you got to tell. Okay, Fisher.
Oh, the joke. He totally missed it. Did you not hear? Did you not?
No,
hear
I didn't hear anything.
Oh my God. Okay, so this won't. He's recording, and he may put it in. He may not. I don't know. But all I know is it's a meme, and I'll just read it to you. It says.
Woo. That's pretty good. I like that one.
That's one right there. Ain't that right, Head? So I'm like on season 9 of this Pigman series on this outdoor channel. This dude is hilarious. And so, I mean, everybody's name is either Jim, Jimmy, or Head.
Oh my God.
And he's got such a thick southern drawl. He's like, hey, what you know there, Head? Or he'll be like, where'd you shoot him there, Jim? Jimmy. All right, so y'all all got your
I
list
don't
ready to go?
understand when they're parents. Yeah, I'm ready, rock and roll.
You got your list ready to go. We're about to go with episode number 14. 14. 14.
Double 7.
14.
14. Episodo 14 in La Casa.
Okay.
Man, we got a list ready to go. We got guys having girlfriends. We're going. Yeah, here we go.
Got big pigs down.
We got big pigs on the ground. Get that right there, Jim.
But no pelvises.
Oh, not yet. Anyway, we're working on that. I'm doing some leg workouts and some cardio to make sure that when that day comes, it ain't gonna fail me.
Right on.
And on that note, hey, welcome back, everybody, to episode number 14. This is the UNT3 podcast, coming at you with all music all the time. I'm your host, Ryan Gerfers, here with co-host Joel Cox and Christian Fisher. What we're bringing to you is all music all the time. We cover anything from best songs of decades, super groups, super fights. If you've seen the show, you know what we do. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We hope you like what you're about to watch. We want you in on this conversation, so make sure you're commenting down as you watch or at the end of the episode. Everybody that's watched up to this point and everybody that has commented, we want to thank you right now for keeping us going, because y'all are the reason that we are continuing to do this. Please continue to comment, continue to like. And what I'd like to do real quick is challenge everybody that's watching this episode right now. Share it with at least 2 people. Find 2 people, share it with them, let them know who we are and what we do. And so the more the merrier in this conversation.
Invite them to church, man. Just invite them to our church.
Go. This is a family-friendly environment here, okay? So we want everybody of all ages. But yeah, let's get them in on this conversation. We're going to dive right in tonight with our first segment. We've got Best Power Trios coming at you. Joel, Mr. Hero himself, what do we got for your Power Trios?
Dang it. We went 2 episodes without you saying anything, so I was really hoping that we'd forgot that. But
that's all right there, Head.
I really feel like we should have a Power Trio. So this is really cool because
you make the edits.
Well, I guess I could add it. We'll do it in post. This is really cool because it covers so many different genres. Like, the Power Trio doesn't necessarily mean rock. I mean, it could be jazz, it could be country. So this is a cool one. I like it. So I did 5. I know we're only supposed to do 3, but I did 5, so suck it.
I mean, 5 is acceptable.
That's
Okay,
okay. My list is like 15, but I figured what would happen is as y'all name yours, I'll cross them off of mine. And then we'll
Beautiful.
You know,
whittle
you've
my
said
list
that in
down to like
episodes
6.
before, and
know,
we
so
still
here we
went through
go.
all of your list.
It's
So,
okay, but I'm going to make sure that tonight, if you name who somebody on my list, they're getting crossed off.
No
right?
rules.
It's gonna be, big band down.
Big bang down. Okay, so I know some of these are probably going to cross pollinate, of course. One of the most classic power trios is the group that consists of Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and I'm totally blanking on the bass player's name, Jack Bruce, and that would be Cream. So super group number 1, power trio number 1. The next
did not
one
make
that
my list because I figured someone would. I said it did not make my list because I figured someone would name it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Sunshine of My Love. So the next one that kind of follows in that same genre and that same time period, I would say is the Jimi Hendrix power trio with Noel Redding. I mean, just such an amazing band. And then the next one that I have is moving to the 80s is the band The Police. Love The Police.
Scratching them off my list.
Okay. You're about to cross off another one.
Bring it on.
Another classic trio, the band Rush. They finally made it to the Hall of Fame, right? So Rush. And then the last one that I put on here is a little, there's 2 Houston bands, and I'll let someone else mention them, but this is another Houston band that I absolutely love. Trio, amazing band, and that would be the band King's X.
Oh, you bastard.
King's X. There's another trio from Houston.
I love King's X.
King's X is amazing.
Yeah, they're on my list.
Okay. I figured someone would have them, but like for me, King's X is just one of those amazing bands. It's just, and they're not on your list, Ryan? No. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, okay. So, Christian, what do you have for us today on your list?
I've got a few repeats from yours.
Okay.
First repeat would be The Police. When I thought of this topic, I was actually listening to The Police, and I was like, power trios. I think that'd be a good topic. So that's what at least spurned this topic in my mind. Mm-hmm. The next is another repeat from your list, and that would be the Jimi Hendrix Experience. I don't think you can mention trios without them. This one might be on Ryan's list. I don't know. The next one I have is Grand Funk Railroad.
Grand Funk is a trio?
They were a trio.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know that until, Hold on, I got it pulled up. Let me double check.
I mean, I'm just saying I'm not saying you're wrong. I just didn't know.
Yeah, there they are. Grand Funk Railroad. Mm-hmm. The band out of Houston, ZZ Top.
Yep, that's the other one.
And then, because I'm a metalhead, the greatest trio in metal of all time, Motorhead.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Was that on your list, Ryan?
No, because I figured you would pick it, and so I purposely left them off because when I saw that, I was like, "No, Christian's going to say it."
That's good. That's a good one.
My final one, I'm going to combine because they play similar music. And that would be the Beastie Boys and DC Talk.
Oh,
see, I was going to put Beastie Boys, but I figured one of you two would put that on there.
That's really good. I didn't even think about. There's so many other genres, man. I didn't even think about rap. That's a great one.
I mean, DC Talk, as they got into their later years or their final albums, they kind of went more towards the rock mainstream and away from their rap roots. But they started out as a rap group.
Yeah.
So those are my picks for Power Trio.
There it is. We'll start mine
You're
off.
up, Mr. Gurford.
I got you. We're going to start it off. First, I've got this to say.
Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
So there you go. Okay. So my list. Thank you, Mr.
That was great.
Joe
Thank you,
Pesci.
Joe Pesci, and my cousin Vinny. Thank you, cousin Vinny, because
To
that was
you.
fantastic, right? And I loved how in that scene, my favorite part of that too is he's wearing that like Mickey Mouse suit because the whole like this the only store in the town that's got suits got the flu. The whole store got the flu. But anyway, and there's no 24-hour dry cleaning service in that town. But anyway, so my list. So y'all took off several off my list. Now, most of what's left on my list is not in the rock genre. I wanted to get away from the rock genre. Okay, now there are a couple on here that are, but not really.
Okay.
So we'll start with the Bee Gees.
Oh, I didn't
Okay.
think about them.
So we're
Nice.
going back with the Bee Gees. All right.
Hey, did you know that the Bee Gees, one of the guys wrote the intro theme to Grease?
Did he really?
Yeah, I just
I
learned
did
that.
not know that.
Yeah,
That's a fantastic little tidbit of stuff there.
well, it's because we did the I forget what we did the best songwriters.
Mhm.
And then after that, I watched Grease with my daughter for the first time. I've seen it, but she hadn't. And I saw the hero. I don't know. I just, side note, continue.
No, I got you.
Proceed.
So next are going to be two bands really kind of from our generation. Green Day
Yep.
and then Nirvana.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Okay.
man. I don't know how one of us didn't say that. Dang.
I figured one of y'all would at least say Nirvana, but
Well, again, it showed up on his list, so
Yeah.
then we've got
I figured it would happen with the either one of you. So
Yeah.
the only reason I'm putting this next band on this list is because me and one of my coworkers, he brought them up in conversation the other day, and that's the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Oh yeah.
And then now we'll totally get away from rock genre. So we're gonna go with
love the yeahs.
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. Now this can take us back. Get you some TLC.
Ooh, ain't no scrubs
Right on.
We're gonna
or
chase-
want no scrubs.
We're
Sorry.
gonna chase them waterfalls, man. Um,
But they told us not to.
I know, but I'm going to because there's no rules. Then you've got Salt and Pepper.
Oh yeah.
Okay, little Run DMC.
Okay.
Then let's get out of the whole like hip hop rap genre. Let's go to another genre.
Oh.
We're gonna go a little country.
Okay.
Now, some people would call this more pop country, but we're gonna go with the Dixie Chicks. Now,
Their albums are great, man. Their first few albums.
They're a popular group. You can't argue that they're not a powerful trio in the country genre.
Yeah. No, I like that. I can overlook their political views to enjoy their music.
It's nothing to do
Then
with their
we're gonna go
political
way back. We're gonna take it way back,
Hmm.
and we're gonna go with the Supremes.
There's only three Supremes.
The Supremes, Diana Ross, and then two
Oh,
other chicks.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I'm
right. That's right.
Come
Sorry,
on, man. What are we doing here?
Man,
You're
amateur
supposed
hour.
to be the guru, Mr. Baba Booey. You're our Baba Booey.
Oh,
Okay?
great.
Golly, I'm Howard, you're Baba Booey, and Fisher's Beetlejuice, okay?
I have no problem being Beetlejuice.
Right? So
I have a problem
being.
being Baba Booey.
What are you talking about?
They make fun of him all.
That's okay.
Okay,
Mr.
I guess
Purple
I am
Hat.
Baba Booey.
All
Dang
right,
it.
it's all right. You got your purple hat on tonight. It's okay.
Continue. It's actually
And then
black.
I've got one last one right here, and this is a powerhouse trio. Now, both of you are going to roll your eyes at me, and I don't even care when I say this because this is the real deal Holyfield. We're going power trio, Wilson Phillips. All right. That's
I
where
like the
it's at.
pull.
So
Hey, I that's a great man, that album that they put out, I mean, it was huge when it came out.
But I mean, they are what they are, and you know, back in their time, I mean, think of how popular they were back in their heyday.
yeah,
And so we tend
Yeah.
to lean more here so far up to this point, episode 14. Up to this point, we've really kind of been very kind of classic rock heavy.
yeah.
And so I think, you know, I pulling out a Wilson Phillips, Dixie Chick, Salt and Pepper type vibe.
Yeah, over
you
the
know?
weekend, I was told we should seek a sponsorship by the AARP.
That's right.
Was that Fisher that said that?
That was Fisher that said that.
And so that's really
Shout
that's
out
my
to Stick
list
Crew.
there. You know,
Stick
hey,
Crew.
it's all good. Hey, you know what? Anybody that walks around picking up them sticks, they can say whatever they want to. You know what I'm saying? Stick Crew, you know who you are out there. Stick Crew.
All right, so
Yeah.
if we had to pick a top power trio, who would you cast your vote for? Just out of the ones that we've named tonight.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I had to choose, if I chose one that I just thought was a true power trio that just they just their output was amazing, their talent was amazing, they had such an impact, I have to go with Rush.
Yeah, I
just
would vote Rush
because
too.
the number of albums that they put out, and we're not talking like they put out 2 albums and then disappeared. You know, like there's like Cream put out like I think 4 albums, and they were a great band, but then they disbanded. I mean, all the other bands, The Police, Jimi Hendrix, classic. I mean, but how many? I mean, there's at least 10 classic Rush albums.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're a Rush fan, you probably would argue more. Now, if I was going just purely off of like what I listen to daily, for me, it would be King's X. Because I mean, when I first heard King's X, I've listened to King's X. I can't tell you how many. I mean, so for me, if it was a personal choice, it'd be King's X. But if I was just arguing like best power trio ever, I'd say Rush.
So would I.
Yeah, and I'm with y'all because Rush was on my list. It just got marked off, and so you know, for me, Rush or Cream, but Rush is it. So
Yeah. Well,
I
Boom.
can make an
Rush,
argument for
big
Beastie
letters.
Boys.
Pow.
Rush. We'll have it like
Rush. And
So,
it's hey, and make sure y'all rush out and tell your friends about this podcast right here. Make sure that you
Nice.
rush out and let
Nice.
them know.
Nice.
That right there,
yes.
that is called a plug, segue, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, transition, segue, whatever you want to call it, man.
Hey,
Mr. Purple Hat.
Well, speaking of like country, another trio that I thought of right now, and it's a more current one, which I consider a real legit country, is Midland, the band Midland.
Mhm.
And they've only put out 2 albums and they're fantastic. So, I mean, more trios out there than we
Midland.
realize.
Hell yeah.
So let's move on to the next segment because I'm actually really excited about this one because I'm going to be going way outside the box on this when we get to it. But we're going to be talking about songs and or albums we wish we'd written. And so, Fisher, what do you got, man? Because I'm actually really excited to hear what y'all have because I know it's not going to be what I have.
Right on. Well, I know I did the exact opposite of you, Ryan, and I did not go outside the box, at least for my general taste. And I'm going to start off with a song, not an album, but a song that I wish I'd written, and that's Shine On You Crazy Diamond.
Ooh.
Coming hard. Yes, man.
That,
He's dropping them down.
Those opening 4 notes that David plays at the very beginning, I don't know, it sets the tone, it sets the mood for the rest of that song. And I like that it bookends the album Wish You Were Here. The first part starts the album and the final part ends the album. I really like that. The next one, I'm going to go ahead and say I wish I'd written this album or been a part of writing this album, and that's OK Computer.
Oh, yes.
Specifically, the song "Subterranean Homesick Alien."
There you
that
go.
is definitely an album worthy of the praise that it gets. It's a gift. It's what I call the gift that keeps on giving.
Right. Next, this one is going back to the early 90s. And if you're a fan of Pearl Jam, you'll probably be a fan of this song because members of Pearl Jam were formerly in this band and wrote this song with the lead singer Andy Wood, and that's Crown of Thorns from Mother Love Bone.
Yeah.
That song, when I hear that song, I think this is the quintessential song of the 90s. Like that whole movement that came out of Seattle, this was like the song that kind of encapsulates the whole thing. I've got two more. One is Over the Hills and Far Away by Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah.
That's
a great
that's
one.
in my top 3 Led Zeppelin songs of all time.
Mhm.
That's in my top 3.
Yeah.
And then finally, I don't think I can make a list without naming this band. I'm wearing their t-shirt. And I don't think I'm going where you think I'm going to go with this band, but I wish I'd been a part of writing the Load album. More specifically, the songs Bleeding Me and Outlaw Torn. I think those are two of, if not the best Metallica songs ever. You can fight me on it, you can debate me on it, but those are my choices. Bleeding Me, Outlaw Torn, that whole album, Load. I don't know that. I say the Black Album's what got me into Metallica and just the world of metal in general.
Yeah.
And then I got into Master of Puppets. But when I listened to Load came out the end of my senior year. And that's really, I listened to Load and it was so different from everything that they'd ever done before. It's what kind of pushed me to start listening to other music other than metal. So that's why I pick that as my final one.
Gotcha.
So over to you, Joel.
Led Zeppelin. That is a great song. So I went a different route. I did only songs. Just to kind of make it a little bit more difficult. And so I wanted to cover a couple different genres. And so when I picked these songs, like I try to think of, I'm not a big lyric guy, but I like melodies and I like musicianship. And I like how people put songs together. And so when I picked mine, that's kind of the criteria I had. So the first song that I chose was A Day in the Life by the Beatles. Like to me, that song, the way it's written, the way it's recorded, from what I understand, it's one of the few really Lennon and McCartney songs where they actually work together on the different pieces. So, I mean, it's just a beautifully crafted song. And then you have this crazy chromatic section where they just had to end at the right note at the very end. And it's chaos, but yes, it's very, very constructed at the same time. So A Day in the Life by the Beatles. So many
you could pick from them.
Yeah. But for me, that's like, I mean, I could have picked half their catalog probably, but
right.
That to me showcases everything, you know? But that's my opinion. Comment below if you disagree. Now I'm probably get slaughtered by saying this name, but it's Naima by John Coltrane. It's not the most crazy. It's not like Giant Steps. It's not like some of his other songs that are so popular. To me, the first time I heard it, it's a very slow song, and and he's not doing a ton of notes. It's just all emotion and melody. And for me, I just love it. I just wish that I had written that song. Another song is Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. I mean, that song, again, it's a riff that turns into a beautiful, song about love. And then it goes into this just crazy solo section at the end. some of the best guitar playing that I remember hearing as a kid. But it's just a beautifully constructed song.
Yeah.
Another song that's kind of more dear to me, it's by George Strait, and that's Amarillo by Morning.
Yeah.
Such a
Telling
good
the
song.
story of a guy going all the failed relationships he had, but his love of doing what he has to do is what kind of pushes him on. And I mean, it's just an amazing storytelling. It kind of bridges the gap between like a great song and a great storytelling song.
Yeah.
And because some of those storytelling songs are just just too long. But this is
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I was talking to another friend of mine a while back about specifically this song, Amarillo by Morning. And he made the comment that after he said it, I kind of thought on it and was like, yeah, that's pretty spot on. Was Amarillo is to America what yesterday is for Britain.
Yeah, I could see that. That's actually a really good point. It's just a beautiful song. And I have two more. One is, and I absolutely love this song, and that's Lover You Should Have Come Over by Jeff Buckley. Again, how he starts it off, this beautiful story about love lost. And then he's singing, but he's kind of moaning that loss. And then he just delivers this ridiculous vocal onslaught at the very end, and the band just kills it.
That whole album, man.
That whole album is great. Again, if you've never listened to Jeff Buckley Grace, go get it. And then for me, the last one, and this is interesting because we're both ending with Metallica. For me, one of the quintessential, just how it's written, how it goes, is the song One. I know it's missing some bass, but that song is it's an onslaught from beginning, and it's beautiful and it's painful. And then you have the very end, the chaos with the solos. And what I think is some of Kirk's best, I know I watched the mini-sode on Kirk Hammett, but I think that is some of the best guitar playing. Like, that can go up against almost anybody. That's how good it is. So those are my choices for songs that I wish I had written and played on, and various other things. So Ryan, what do you have for us?
So I have a mix of album and songs. The first thing I'm going to jump right into is the album. You just talked about it, and it's the Jeff Buckley Grace album. The whole thing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah, enough said.
Yeah. Even the outtake should have been on that album, because that song is just as good as the rest of the album.
The entire album is just, like you said, if you haven't heard it, go get it and listen to it, and then let us know what you think. The next one is a song.
Listen to it start to finish. Don't skip around. Start to finish.
The next one's a song. Now, this song is the reason I picked this is because this is probably one of the only songs, if not the only song, that if I'm in the vehicle or in the car and I get to my destination, and when I'm parking, if I hear the song start, I will not get out of the car until the song is over. I have to listen to the whole thing, and that is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. So that's one of those choice. That's one of those songs that you can't turn off in the middle of the song. You have to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so that's there. Now, the next one is a song, and the reason I'm picking this one is because it transcends different decades. Because even today at the high school, if we play this song in a pep rally, the entire student body will chime in on the chorus, and only the chorus, but that is Neil Diamond and Sweet Caroline.
I was just thinking that.
And the thing is, I mean, that is a song literally that no matter how old you are or how young you are, when it gets played and you get to the chorus, you can't help but jump in and sing it.
Hold on real quick. Little tidbit of information. Well, I don't know if I want to throw this out. Never mind. You can cut that part out.
Okay.
I was gonna say that my daughter shares a birthday with Neil Diamond.
Really?
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Leave it in.
Leave it in. Why would
No.
why would you not want to do that? Privacy?
Yeah, privacy. Don't want her birthday out on. I mean,
The prince.
Oh, gotcha.
people could. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Jamming
Now-
on the one.
Jamming on the one.
Jam in on the one. My last few here. This is where I'm going outside of the box.
Okay.
We're getting out of the box. I actually had the privilege of performing these. The first one is going to be he's a more contemporary composer. His name is John Rutter, and the Rutter Requiem.
Mm.
Amazing piece of music from start to finish. So again, I mean, when I think classical music, Rutter's right up there.
Yeah.
The next one, and the reason I'm picking these, one is classical music and choral music is, what I do, and I love it. But when you think of these next two that I'm going to give you, these names, everybody knows who these people are. And so the first one will be Mozart's Requiem in D minor.
I love that piece of music.
Absolutely insane. And it is it's more fun to perform than it is to listen to.
Mhm.
And so
I will second that. I was in my junior college choir. We performed it one year for our fall concert.
it is and I've had the privilege of singing both the baritone line and one of the tenor lines in that piece, and it's great. The last one that I'm going to pick, I'm just combining here, Beethoven symphonies 3 and 5. 5 is the more popular of his. It's got the opening notes are probably the most classical notes ever. It's the bum 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 bum. That's number 5. But number 3 really is kind of where he hit his groove, and he really started his movement into that period of symphonies where he finally had figured out how to master what he was doing because of him being deaf.
Yeah.
And so with Symphony 3, that was really his big moment. And it is a masterpiece. So the classical music, I mean, again, if you're wearing a Metallica t-shirt or you're wearing a purple North Texas hat or you're, or you're wearing a 10-gallon cowboy hat listening to George Strait or Willie Nelson, you still all know who Mozart and Beethoven are. You've heard the names. And so for me, if I could have had a hand in writing that stuff, yes, absolutely, all day long.
Yeah. No,
So,
and that's
nice
and
pull.
it's
Way to pull from the world of classical, man.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Come on.
we often forget stuff like that, but like one of the most powerful things that I've heard is Tristan and Isolde by Wagner. I mean, he was a tool bag, but what he wrote, I mean, especially when you have someone who can actually sing it and perform it, I mean, it's hard to, well, it's like Metallica was talking about doing the symphonic Metallica stuff, the S&M stuff, and they said it was some of the heaviest things or experiences that they'd had, and this is Metallica. Yeah. I mean, how many shows have they played over the years, and there's a group out of Dallas, and I'm totally blanking out on their name, but they have a choir that sings with them, and Tim DeLauder, who used to be with man, I'm just totally blanking out, but Tim DeLauder is the lead singer, but he was in a rock band before that, and he said a Tripping Daisy. He was in Tripping Daisy, and he said that as heavy as Tripping Daisy was, it's nothing compared to the orchestral stuff that he does in his new band. So there is something to be said about that. So great choices, great outside the box choices.
That's right.
So
what we've got coming next, we've got another first listen.
We do.
And I believe, Joel, you're bringing that today?
I am bringing that today. And we are going to keep in the vein of the Power Trio.
Let's go ahead.
We
right
are
on.
going... Sorry?
I said right on.
Oh, right on. Okay. we are doing Power Trio, and because I put them on my list and I absolutely love them, we are going to be listening to the band from Houston known as King's X. And I'm not sure. I just have a feeling at some point you've heard this band. Now, you may not have, and that's fine. But if you don't know, they're great. Doug Pennick is the lead singer. He's been in several bands since. But
I love his voice.
His voice is great. He's a bass player that sings. So he falls into the great lineage of bass players that sing, Phil Lynott, and various other people. Jack Bruce, Sting. I mean, there's a ton of guys. But he's also known as being one of the rarities, which is an African-American man in a rock band. You know, there's some, but when he came out, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, listen to this guy. He's awesome. So anyway, we are going to listen to the song, and I could have chosen so many choices, but I am choosing the song Dog Man, which would arguably like one of their top 3 songs.
I love this song.
So this is the song Dog Man. Wait, hold on. Let me share first.
Share your audio.
Jamming on the one.
Because cousin Vinny had to share something.
Yes, here we go. Y'all hear that?
Turn up just a bit.
Okay. Is that good?
So heavy.
Yeah. Now, Ryan, when they play, all 3 of these guys sing. So the drummer, the bass player, and the guitar player. And
I feel I've heard this before. They
sound just like this live. Like, what you hear is like verbatim what they sound like.
Yeah, this was a radio hit of theirs.
There you go.
Killer.
There it is. That's your best first listen to date.
It beats Dred Zeppelin.
It beats all of it.
What's funny is like their catalog. I mean, I could have chosen any song. And what's funny is like on this song, there's really no guitar solo, but their guitar player, Ty Tabor, is like ridiculous. Like the whole band is great. It's just they're just so good, and when they sing, like they literally sound just like that. If I'm correct, and I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that they did an unplugged for MTV, because that was what was big back in late 80s, early 90s, and I mean it's phenomenal. So definitely,
I enjoyed it.
Not my favorite song, but I thought that's the one that's kind of what they're known for. So. But what did you think about it, Fisher? I mean, you've heard any thoughts on King's X?
That's my favorite King's X song, so can't go wrong with them.
Yeah. See, for me, Black Flag and Lost in Germany are my two favorite.
Black Flag's a good one, but Dogman is what introduced me to the world of King's X, and so I kind of have a partiality to it because I, coming from the world that I came from as a younger lad in the world of metal and harder music, that tickled that funny bone that you have that likes hard music. So that's my favorite one.
Yeah, the only other song is a song off Tapehead called Over and Over, which is like if I had to round out my top three, Lost in Germany, Black Flag, and then Over and Over. But Over and Over wasn't like a hit. It's just a song that resonates to me. But so what are your thoughts? I know you said that it was your favorite first listen, but I mean, do you have any? I mean, you like vocals and stuff. I mean, was there something that caught your ear specifically that you liked?
No, I mean, all of it. It was heavy. It was in your face, and I liked it. It was just good. I'm pretty sure, in all honesty, I think I've heard that before, but I don't know for sure. I'm almost positive I've heard them before, because that was just very familiar. But
yeah,
nothing specific stood out other than the fact that it was just good.
Well, as long as we've been friends, I would be surprised if at some point you hadn't heard that song in my car.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, when that album came out, I wore it out. And so, but let us know what you think. We would love to hear what y'all think about the song. Tell us about the power trios. Did we miss some? I can think of at least 5 jazz trios that we could have listed that we didn't list. Maybe there's something out there that we completely forgot. Should Run DMC even be like part of it, or the Beastie Boys? Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have recommendations, put them in the notes. Let us know. That was a lot of fun last time we did it. We'd love to do it again. So let us know what you like, what you don't like. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have a YouTube channel. We have a lot of cool content that's coming up with the holiday season. So we don't want y'all to miss out. We don't want you to be sitting there cutting the turkey going, oh my gosh, we totally forgot that we haven't listened to the most recent podcast. We didn't even know it was out. So, the Cowboys are playing. You may just want to turn on the podcast instead. So subscribe so we can let you know when it comes out. But anyway, that being said, if you didn't like my last comment about the Cowboys, I can't say anything. The Texans aren't doing much better. But if you have any questions or any comments, just put them down there. Fisher, why don't you tell us about the channels that you're recommending this episode?
All right. So my first channel is a personal channel, not my own personal channel, but it's the drummer from Anthrax, Charlie Benante. And since this whole pandemic has hit and we've all been kind of restricted to home or, closer to home, whatever, he's been doing a lot of covers with some of his musician friends, and a couple that really stick out are he does a cover with Alex Skolnick from Testament,
Yeah.
great guitar player,
Amazing.
and Raw Diaz, the bass player from Suicidal Tendencies, and they do a really, really good cover of Rush's YYZ, and they do a pretty damn good cover of La Via Strangiato also.
Oh, okay. Speaking of trios.
Speaking of trios, it's pretty killer. He does other covers as well. Let's see. He just recently put out a cover with the lead singer from Alice in Chains, and the guitar player from Mastodon. And I can't
Nice.
right. And I don't know who the bass player was, but you can go look on his channel, and it's a cover of Soundgarden's Rusty Cage.
Nice.
It's pretty good. Pardon me. He does a cover of another song a song that we talked about earlier tonight, Crown of Thorns. And he even does a cover of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. It's pretty interesting. So that's my first channel. Second channel would be a channel called Amoeba Records. It's a record store in LA, and they have a series on YouTube called What's in My Bag, and they get famous musicians or actors, mainly musicians, and they just walk through the store and pick what they want off the shelf. And then after they buy the merchandise, they sit down and just talk about what they bought, why they bought it. But that's how I found out that Shooter Jennings Band was the backing band for Duff McKagan's solo album, because Duff McKagan's episode of What's in My Bag, he bought a Shooter Jennings album and mentioned that he saw them live and was like, that's a really good band. I want them to play on my record. So
That's cool.
check that out. It's really cool to see what your musical idols or who you follow in the world of music. It's cool to see what influences them and what their musical taste is. So if you want to get a taste of that, check out that YouTube channel, Amoeba Records.
That's great.
Nice. All right. It's all good. All right, guys. Nice. All right, guys. So, good episode today. I mean, a lot of really good stuff talked about, all the way from Wilson Phillips to King's X to Mozart and Beethoven. I mean, we don't make this stuff up. We will literally talk about anything. Again, I've got a challenge for everybody watching. If you are new to this channel, I hope you liked what you saw today. Tell 2 people that you know to come check us out. If you've been watching us since episode 1 and you haven't missed an episode, tell 2 people. Tell them to check us out. Tell them to like it. Tell them to share it. Okay. We also want to know who's watching. So if you're watching right now, just give us even a hi in the comments down here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a long thought out comment. Just a, hey guys, how's it going? Enjoy the stuff. Don't enjoy your stuff, so I'm leaving. We don't want you to leave, but we at least want to know who's watching out there.
Don't put that idea
just
in
give
their
us
head.
a hey.
You guys suck.
But hey, really, without everybody out there, this does not happen, and we can't thank you enough. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. Look at all of it, like it, share it, hit the cowbell to get notifications so you don't miss anything. All right. Joel has been talking about the little mini-sodes that we're doing. The little mini-sodes are little snippets of just us hanging out, talking pre or post production. And it might be something, not music related. And that might be the only time you get us not music, is in the little mini-sodes. But it's just fun little stuff, anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. So go check those out. Let everybody know. We've got a lot of really good content coming your way, so stay tuned. Until then, keep living, keep loving, keep listening, and as always, keep rocking.
One of these days, you're not going to laugh at that shit.
No,
It's not
The funny part about it is I literally said, okay, I'm not going to laugh this time. And I forgot because you started talking about something and my brain was like, oh, crud, I'm totally laughing. I failed. On that
Exactly.
note,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah. Happy news. Now there's confetti going off, fireworks all over the screen. And then we're all like on the ground. Big day.
Big day.
That's right, Head. Way to go there, Jim. So, let's see, what I ought to do is just go straight out of this and be like, hey, welcome back. Now here we are.
Welcome back.
You laugh at the beginning
There
of the
it is.
show and you laugh at the end.
I'm
Is
a
it
happy
nervousness?
guy, Fisher. Don't bring me down.
I just like everything that guy just said is bullshit.